Welcome back to What's Tracking. I'm Marcel. We're here with Colin, Steve, and a new friend with...
What's Tracking, Marcel?
What's Tracking, Colin? He's got an apparatus on his head.
I love it. I love the headgear.
Very cool. We're going to get some shots of that in a
Tommy.
minute. Coming up later, Dr. Vib is back.
Ah, my fave.
The best.
Vib in the house.
And he brought a friend of yours, Miles Mosley.
Yeah. Oh, now this is going to be a show to stop all shows. The best show yet. Okay, we've only had 4, but the best one yet.
We're going to keep getting better. No, Miles was incredible. That was an unbelievable, I mean, I kid you not, amazing performance.
I'm a better person having been there.
It was a 250-year-old upright bass that was made in Germany.
Yes. Well, and just some of the work that Steve did with the cameras. I'm not going to give it away.
Don't give it away yet.
I'm not giving it away yet.
Some news this week. A J-Lo-owned company bought the Fuse Network. J-Lo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, our friend J-Lo.
Oh, she's cool.
And speaking of J-Lo.
Oh, I knew you were going somewhere with this. What? Oh, great one. Can you tell us?
I got to hang out at J-Lo rehearsal this week.
Oh, how was she?
She's doing the Billboard Music Awards this weekend, and next week American Idol.
Come on, what was it like to meet her?
It was a lot of fun, Colin. You should.
How was it to meet her?
Come with me sometimes. Oh, she was awesome, man. She was so... I didn't meet her.
Then wait a minute. What, did they stick you in a closet at the rehearsal?
Okay. There's a guy, one of the guys standing there with the phone. Like a
phone?
Phone.
Okay, guy on a phone.
And he's emailing her. Marcel brought over the Orion. She's in the next room.
Why do you have to email her?
You don't go in the next room.
Oh.
You don't just walk in the next room.
Okay.
J-Lo in there.
So he was emailing her.
She said, he told me, I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's true. I felt like so close to the star.
I caught a fish, it was this big.
Yeah. He said, I had told her you brought it, and she says thank you.
And you bought that?
Yeah, and he named me by name. How cool is that? So Bryant, Rick, Kevin, Kenny, our good friend from the Jay-Z tour, now he's out with J-Lo. Thanks, guys. Kenny Nash, awesome.
Well, that seems really cool.
The audio guys are really great, and I hope they have a great show. And they invited me to come to American Idol next week.
Oh my gosh! Do you have to? Can you actually see it? Or do you have to
been to a couple of those. You don't let it play it off. We're gonna we're gonna give something away, Colin.
Give it away now.
Damn right. We're giving away Soundminer, a $400 value. We're stepping it up.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of product. It's a lot of software.
Yeah. So what they just decided, since we talked about it, that we might be able to give it away. Give it away now.
I said, hey, we like our giving away segment so much.
What happened to our last one?
No, the guys stepped up. They hadn't even seen the review. They just said, you know what? I told them what we're doing. We're educating viewers. We told them about Soundminer, and they said, hey, we want to give your viewers
get involved.
So all you have to do is comment on this video, subscribe and comment. We want you to subscribe, but the comment is what enters you into the giveaway, and then we're going to look over the comments, me and Colin, and then we're going to
comment. Give us an example would help. Like,
well, if they say like, I like your jacket, Marcel, like
or
that,
you have a beautiful hairdo.
Yeah, that might help.
Or Colin's amazing.
Wouldn't hurt. It's not going to hurt. Okay, flattery will not hurt.
Colin's amazing.
But you know, give us constructive, something a little like if they say less Colin.
Yeah, we won't give them crap.
And by the way, speaking of giveaways,
give it away now.
No, we already gave it away. The R-Grain winners.
Oh, here's a bunch of happy people.
I have their name, and they all emailed me. Thank you so much. This is so cool. Ooh. Eric, Sam, and Edward. Oh. And Sam is actually Sam Walton. He's got a show called Life in Germany.
And he owns Walmart.
No, he does not. That's Sam Walton. Wouldn't it be great if you had a famous name and you got to share in some of the fame?
Wouldn't it be amazing?
Well, he's already famous. He's got over 5,000 subscribers to his show, Life in Germany. He's going to start using R-Grain. So if you want to see other examples, go watch Life in Germany on an upcoming episode. He's going to have R-Grain on it. A reminder, we're going to be at GearFest.
Oh, GearFest 2014.
Pack your bags, buy your ticket.
Are we going to do a show? Are we going to capture some footage maybe?
I don't know yet. Wow. Maybe we should. We should go to. There's some really cool bars on the river in Fort Wayne, especially that time of year.
We're not going there to capture life in a bar. What are you talking about?
You mean at Sweetwater? I don't know. We got to ask permission.
We got to show the excitement.
I'm so excited. I can't wait. And I'm glad you guys are coming. You're coming?
I'm going to get my hair cut at Wavelength. They have a barber.
Wavelength. InfoComm is June 18th to 20th in Las Vegas. AV guys, we're going to have
Las Vegas is all you have to say.
We're
there.
We may go. The GoPro app. We're using this app. Everyone knows about GoPro cameras now, but do you know about the app?
I saw the app. It's fantastic.
You can look at your shot on the phone. You can start, stop your camera from your phone app. You can upgrade.
Can I just say something?
Sure.
It blew my mind when I saw it. Everyone has to look at this app.
It's the coolest thing. I didn't even know such a thing existed. You have this app. You can do anything with the phone. You just install the phone somewhere. You can update the firmware. GoPro app is awesome. On review this week, Acoustic Sciences Corporation.
Oh, great products.
ASC. They have several solutions available, including for mixing, tracking, and bass and treble control.
Yep.
The number one solution for AV, audio-video purposes, would be the Quick Sound Field Traps, or QSF.
Dr. Vib brought a kit.
Oh my gosh.
And what he did was he isolated our friend with the most amazing bass, Miles Mosley, and he controlled the whole room. He didn't worry about the treatment. You know, you're only as good in your audio as your treatment.
You haven't heard the files yet.
No, I haven't.
Wait till you hear the final files, and you guys are going to hear them very soon. They sound incredible.
I'll bet.
But we were blown away. We're like, he brought these things in his car.
But with the assortment of mics we had, with the sound field, with the, it was pretty amazing.
Why do people need to treat acoustics? Why do you get great? You got great microphones. You got great.
Well, you
cameras.
have to control the environment. You have to isolate it somehow. You can't. You never know what you're going to turn up for, and what it's going to be like. You got to say, look, I got my gear. I'm making good sound. I'm not depending on anybody else. I'm a pro.
Well, you know, what you want to do is basically you can take these. It just threw me off. I don't even know where you're going. How did this become about you?
I don't know where I was going.
So you can take these things anywhere. So people are shooting video anywhere they go now. And so if this is a solution that makes you sound like you're in the best studio in the world, and you just brought these in with you on the stand.
That's portable.
Great job. So let's see how they sound, and let's take a look at our footage with Miles and our friend Brian Viberts. So we're back today with our friend Dr. Vib, the great Brian Viberts, and tell us a little bit about what we did on these. Break down each individual pass of the recording with Miles. The first setup was?
We did it with basic microphones that most people can get a hold of. We had a stereo mic that was an Audio Technica AT-M825. Then we had a Lewitt 640 REX and a Lewitt 340.
And these were all going into the Zen's mic pre's.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. So on the second pass, Brian, we kind of upped the ante with the microphones. We sort of went berserk with the best microphones that we could find, that we could get our hands on, which we thank Audio Rents for supplying.
Yes, definitely.
So what did we have on the second pass?
A Neumann U47 tube microphone, a Schoeps MK4, which is a cardioid capsule, and for the stereo mic, we went to a Royer RF24.
Again, all to the mic preamps of the Zen.
That's right.
Let's have a listen. So the third time through, we used the expensive mics again, but we brought in the BAE mic pre's on a couple of them.
That's right.
Explain what we used there.
Well, first of all, the two that we've heard so far have been, everything's been flat. No EQ, no compression. So that's what we've heard so far. Yeah, we changed the BAE mic pre's.
We put the 1023 on the U47.
That's right. And the 1073 on the Sheps.
Correct. And let's have a listen to that. So we were switching back and forth from EQ and no EQ to give people an idea what they can get out of those Neve-style EQs and those BAEs. Right. Why did you choose the 1023 for the U47?
I chose that because there was more, the right frequencies that I wanted to select was on the 1023 and are absent on the 1073.
Because it has some extra positions.
Yeah, that's right. And those were what I wanted to kind of boost in the EQ.
And then the stereo mic was the one that was still going into the Zen. So people can,
still flat.
People can get an idea of the different mics and the quality of the Zen mic pre's, which were very good.
Oh, yeah.
Held their own very well. But if you make that investment to go further and get a more expensive mic pre on one or two extra channels,
yes,
you get to hear that flavor as well.
Right.
So tell us about the acoustic treatments around Miles.
Yes. Those are the tube traps made by Acoustic Sciences, ASC, and it's a QSF setup.
The quick sound field.
Exactly. And that allows it kind of tightens the sound around the bass and gets the first reflections of the room, but you don't get like a lot of reflections.
And you love these things.
Yeah, I use them on every recording that I do.
You were saying that you get a more direct sound and not,
that's right. It's more focused. Yeah.
And you bring them everywhere you go, right?
Yes.
To people, why are you bringing these things into my room?
Yeah, especially when I bring them into a place like Ocean Way, and they're like, "What are you doing?"
So even a room with great acoustics, yes, you bring these things. Pretty cool. So Brian, thanks again. It was a lot of fun. It's fun every time. Great musician, great engineer.
Exactly. We'll do it again.
Cool. We're here with Miles Mosley. You just heard a great performance from him. He's an amazing musician, and I've come to get to know him a little bit today, and a really interesting person. So thanks for this. I can't thank you enough. It's great to have you. We were talking a little bit about how you learned instruments such as guitar. We were talking about different kinds of guitars and tellies and strats and with Colin before the show. And I found that interesting. I asked you, do you play guitar? You're like, oh yeah, piano and guitar, they're the foundation of Western music. Can you tell us how that inspired you to learn those instruments and how it led you to the bass?
Well, I started off playing the bass before I got to piano and guitar, but what I figured out fairly quickly in my studying was that because the piano is the foundation of Western music, harmony, and guitar, in my opinion, is the foundation of modern music, harmony, learning how to play those two instruments has made me a better bass player because I can sort of practice how I'm going to accompany those instruments and try out different harmonic takes. So learning how to play those instruments gives you a wider thought process when you're making music. I think it's actually crucial that we're multi-instrumentalists when it comes to the foundation instruments.
And you had a couple explanations of why you chose the bass. The first one, I loved it in school.
Yeah, the bass is I got to it as a fluke. It was the only instrument in junior high school that you didn't have to take home. So, you know, I saw this big lumbering thing in the corner, and I thought, that's, if I have to be in this class, that's my instrument right there.
And now you got to take it everywhere.
Now I have to take it everywhere. But it's been, you know, I picked it up and played the first note. I played an A, and that is that reverberates throughout the instrument. And when I felt that, and I learned that no matter what the orchestra or the band was playing, the notes that I played were we hear as humans from the bottom up. So if everyone's playing a happy song in C major and I play an A on the bottom, there's nothing anybody can do. We're playing a minor song.
It's a minor now.
And I mean, you know, 13 years old with wielding that kind of power in an orchestra class, I was unstoppable. And
you were also talking about how the bass is the bridge between the melody and the rhythmic instruments.
Yeah, you find that in rhythm sections that the bass is the person that sometimes keeps peace and translates what's happening with drums into what's happening harmonically. So it's the conversationalist, it's the translator almost. It's the one position that's actually responsible for both. Because as a piano guitar, if you want, you can glide on top of what's happening in the drums, but the bass is directly attached to it. The bass is also directly attached to the harmony. So you're the thread. I always think of it as like, you know, you see horses riding in front of a stagecoach, and there's some guy on top of there whipping them, making sure they go in the right direction.
He's a bass player.
That's right.
Great. And we were talking about some of the greats of Colin because Colin's worked with Bob Hope and then the early Tonight shows and knows a lot of the guys that worked on those shows. And you were talking about how much respect you have for the greats like Bill Cosby and even just the entertainers and how you aspired that for your own career. How does that drive you and motivate you to be better?
I think that there was a golden era for how entertainers saw themselves in show business and an attention to detail for really polishing up their act and making sure that they represented themselves with a high level of integrity on and off the screen or the stage. And it's something that I've always aspired to do myself. You know, I've felt like being a stand-up person in general, but making sure that when I step on stage, there aren't any gaps in the playing or in the approach, and that you really go full force the whole time and don't rest on your laurels. And that era is something that I look to for that type of.
And that's amazing to me after spending some time with you and hearing about how you've traveled the world. You've played with greats. You played with Stanley Clarke. You played with J.D., Jonathan Davis of Korn. You toured with them and recorded an album with him, wrote an album with him, and have performed on so many late-night shows and with various musicians. And yet, what are some of your goals? Like, where do you want to go from here?
Well, I see myself certainly as a touring artist, but as a composer and someone who puts a lot of time into their recordings. If I can impact the world the way that some of my heroes have, I study. I'm someone who likes to take the time to see how the most successful of us have done it and learn from them and ask them questions. And I'm truly a student of my art. And so if I can make an impact on the world the way that my heroes have, that's my goal. And however I get to that, I just know it's a lot of hard work and focus, and that's what I'm here to do.
And you volunteer some of your time helping a youth organization, is that correct?
I have for many years. Coming out of college, I worked for several nonprofits that used music as a way for inner city children to better express themselves so that different therapists and aid workers could see a different side of them, because oftentimes they found that kids would put something in a lyric that they wouldn't necessarily share. So music was a great way to ease their tension in the way that they spoke to one another and spoke to other people. So that's music education is very important to me. I've benefited greatly from it, and so I go out of my way to give back as well.
That's awesome. It was, again, a great honor to have you and visit, and I hope we get to do it again soon.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching our show this week, and also thanks to Miles, Dr. Vibb, Colin, Timmy?
Tommy.
Tommy. And, of course, Steve. I'm Marcel, and we'll see you next week.